talking to someone, now I'm going to learn more. Now I'm going to be better off than I was. Um, and I think that's terribly important. So I would get rid of all those. I would make it someone's job to update those. And because and maybe you give him a command vehicle, and I'm not talking the command vehicle like it is now. I'm talking a command vehicle where okay, yeah, we can take this road. A command vehicle where it's like a Humvee with a 50 cal, and he can walk up to his hood and he can put his map out, and then anyone who walks up to that map can see what's going on, and maybe they can just copy down what's on the map.
Yeah, so basically like a 3D map that they would physically see, basically, like the range table that you could physically see on another player.
Yeah, and you could just put that on the hood of the Humvee. I mean, that's how commanders back in the day did things, is they drove around in their Jeep and they would figure out what's going on, and then they'd update their map.
So let's extrapolate on that idea. So let's assume you're a commander or some player who is assigned a role or just assumed the role of gathering intel for other players. So you just drive with your Jeep and you end up in this town, you get out. And let's assume you have no idea what's going on. You just joined the game, and the only two markers that are always updated, or the only two types of markers that are only updated, are places, cap zones. They show you which side owns which cap zone and which spawn base are active, and the place you originally spawned in at the beginning of the game. Every other piece of information is not updated in real time. Now you drive to some random town. Let's imagine another player comes out. He talks to you and he explains to you the situation. You tell him, okay, I just joined us, so what happened? And he tells you, okay, we have, let's assume the Soviets have Morton, and friendlies have some spawn here and some spawn here. And the plan is to attack that town. And here's the other thing. The game shouldn't show the current resource amount on a flag unless a player physically walks up to the tent of that area and sees like on the board perhaps the number or something. Because then you have this extra missing information that you have pieced together. So you know approximately, okay, friendlies are attacking from here, and the enemy is in heavy fighting somewhere here, but you don't know you don't know how many resources your own guys have left in that area. And if players want to exchange information or get information about what's happening, then there would be the dedicated intel gathering player, which could be commander or could be some other role, or could just be any player who wants to do it and just drives around with his car. And that player could then, as the guy said in the video, just put it on the hood, and the other player can come up, press an action, and would copy the information from the map. And then you would have that gameplay role of a player who's dedicated, just driving around between the front lines, trying to get information that's useful, and perhaps drawing up attack plans. There should be like two different types of map markers. One marker should be like markers you put, okay, enemies approximately here, and that base is low on supplies somewhere here. And then you can draw attack plans that other players can or cannot adhere to if they want to. So you could draw an attack plan, like let's say if we spawn here and here, we're going to gather in this forest, over the ridge, and attack Morton from this direction. And then every player who copied the map can see that information. And I think players want that type of direction where they see like an arrow, okay, if we move in from here, and then they can gather. And these gaps in information actually create gameplay, because imagine you're a new player, he's not a commander. Say you spawn in Levy or somewhere here. You have no idea what's going on. You walk down the road. Another player drives by with a car. You ask him what's going on. He tells you, okay, I just got the map from the commander who was here. We're going to attack here, and here's the gathering point. Then every player who's slightly confused, he will want to find some type of area where he knows he can go to where other players are. And then you have naturally players gathering for team play because they don't want to run around alone. And then they start gathering and they start attacking the place. And I think it would also make the commander role more interesting to players, because here's what I'm worried about. If they add some type of commander role, that it ends up like in some more casual milsim games where it says, okay, if you're a commander, and if you stand next to the capstone within 300 meters, it caps faster, or you get 20% higher spawn rate. Like something abstract, something gamey. And with this idea implemented, it would be different because then the command player has... He can literally use gathering intel as a gameplay feature. And I think it would model at least something that we would imagine from war movies, like the commander running between the lines with the binocular, checking the situation out, drawing plans on maps, and handing it out to other players. And then he would give it to 2 or 3 players at this car, and they would run to their own groups of players in certain areas, and then he would coordinate the battle plan. Then you still have the radio, which you can talk over.